Hi everyone. Hello everyone. Okay, so I can already see some messages in the chat. Hello Sumit. Hello Anish. Hello Jon Snow. Okay, so hi guys. Hi. We already have 17 people here. We will just wait a few minutes, like a minute or so, and then we will start the session. So guys, अगर मेरी आवाज़ clear है, please write it down, like drop a message in the comments. Um, and also do tell me from where you guys are joining. I would love to hear that. Hello, Ajendra. Okay, so Anish is saying it's clear. Okay. Okay, so we will just dive right in because I think we have like enough viewers right now. So hi everyone, I am Shiva, the marketing associate here at Cypher Schools, and I'll be hosting today's session. Welcome to Make Desktop Apps with Antigravity. If you have ever built a web app and thought it deserves a desktop app, this is where we do it. Today, in this session, we are going to build desktop applications using Antigravity and ElectronJS. Now, to do this, before we get into it, I will just explain what things we are going to learn in this session. So, firstly, what are desktop applications? Then, how these web apps like Netflix, Figma, Canva, and Discords run as desktop apps. Then we will be introducing you to ElectronJS. We will explain how wrappers are created around a web app. Okay, so yes, uh, around a web app, tell you how we are going to build cross-platform desktop applications that would work on Windows, Linux, as well as macOS. And then we will, in the end, push the code to GitHub for you all guys to see it. Okay, so we have got a few uh, places. People are joining from Jhansi, Jaipur, Chandigarh, Delhi, Kanpur, Hyderabad. So I guess we are all over the world right now. So before, uh, rather than just talking, let's introduce you to the mentor today. So guys, please welcome Sanskar Dharolia in this session. Okay, so
Hi,
hi Sanskar.
am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. So, guys, we have Sanskar right here. He's the UI UX designer here at Cypher Schools and the product manager. Sanskar has a lot of experience in creating web apps and then converting them into desktop applications. I've learned a lot from him. So, today we are going to give that to you guys. So, Sanskar, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty much well, Shiva. Thank you for such a warm welcome. And about you,
I'm also doing great. Sanskar. So, Bangalore का weather कैसा है? हर बार की तरह the same question.
इसके बिना सेशन स्टार्ट नहीं होता है, तो इट्स
बिल्कुल।
quite refreshing and quite energetic at the same time. तो हाँ, it's
Got it.
quite good here.
Got it. So, Sanskar, before we get into the session, I have like three or four questions I would like to ask you. The
Okay.
first one is not related to the session, but yeah. So, what's the most unnecessary feature you ever built in a web app or in an application, just for fun?
Uh, it's quite, how would I portray that? Huh? Quite interesting, but I just added just one on the auto curiosity. I added that feature that is logging how much water I have taken. Although that will not notify me as of now, ki, you have not taken this much water, or you didn't hit a goal today. But just for
Mhm.
fun, I did that in some of my side project where I added a feature of telling ki how much water I have drank till date. So it's just a casual
Got
feature. And another I added when I'm working on this wrapper and all, like using ElectronJS. So that time I have a curiosity, like I made some task management app and all. So at that time I have a curiosity to let's make that task management app should float like a PIP, like picture in picture kind of a format. So it will be
Got
floating
it.
through a window and you can do your work. So just those kind of features I did.
Okay, so Sanskar, your voice is a little bit breaking.
I
Um,
hope now it's clear. Let me adjust.
Guys, please comment, drop a message in the chat if you guys can hear Sanskar clearly.
Am I audible? Everyone? You don't, I'll also watching another display over here just for the comment part. So some अगर मैं कहीं और देख रहा हूँ तो don't feel कि मैं ignore कर रहा हूँ. Okay.
So Sumit is saying, someone is saying you
Little
have
bit
break.
audible. Okay.
So now I guess it's audible to me now. It
Okay.
was
I'll
breaking earlier,
just yeah
but
yeah. I'll just fix one thing. Yeah. I hope now it's quite clear.
yes, it is clear. So
Okay.
Sanskar, the next question I had was, we all are very much familiar with using coding softwares like VS Code or Firebase. You also used to use Firebase, as I recall from the last session we had. So why
Right.
did you shift to anti-gravity? Like when and why did you shift to anti-gravity?
So I was forced to shift from Firebase Studio to Anti-Gravity. The reason is very simple. When we did a last session on Firebase Studio, there we saw that Firebase Studio is forcing us to use Firebase services. Okay,
Yep.
whether it is for data storing or some authentication, all those stuff. And I'm trying to integrate Supabase over there, but for some reason it's forcing again and again because anyhow it's a Google product itself. So it's forcing again and again to use Firebase services. And to be
Mhm.
very honest, Firebase services are quite good, but it comes at a cost. मतलब free tier बहुत जल्दी exhaust हो जाता है. And मतलब ultimately फिर आपको either you have to pay or switch to another this one database or services. So the reason why I shifted from Firebase is just for this purpose. कि let me try another product of Google, which is Anti-Gravity. And there we can see still there they are recommending Firebase services, but still we can use Supabase as well. So they can help to create the architectures, queries, everything, and we can just copy paste and just run that database architectures. So the main reason was the Supabase, and the second reason was कि I feel like कि when I'm trying to build application apart from web development, let's say for a kind of a wrapper. Today we are doing a session on ElectronJS. So Firebase
Yes.
Studio sometimes it struggles, and also it is entirely done on your cloud services. Like Firebase Studio entirely run on cloud. So
Mhm.
I cannot save the code locally. The process is completely different. There I have to connect GitHub, then it will come to my repository, and if I want that to be run in my local system, I have to fetch that again. Like I have to clone
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so that was a great answer, Sanskar. The next question is also about anti-gravity.
Okay.
Since you are already using anti-gravity, what is one thing you do not like about it?
Quota limit. There is a quota limit. So
Hmm.
for all the student who are watching, I'll just recommend you like अगर आपके पास जियो का प्लान था पहले and you enrolled into the Gemini Pro kind of a stuff, तो उसका पूरा यूटिलाइज करो. मतलब there you will get some extra quota limit when you are into Gemini Pro. जब आप I guess जियो वगैरह ने ऑफर लाया था that time it was there.
Yes, Geo में है.
हाँ जियो में I guess still it's there, but the only thing which I hate is the quota limit.
Got it, got it. Okay, so the last question before handing over the session to you, Sanskar. Why should I create a wrapper? Why should I not build a native application instead?
So I would say when you go completely into native application, maybe I'm wrong. I'm just portraying this.
Mhm.
You have to maintain for every system. Let's say if you are building for macOS, okay, there you have to learn Swift, right? when you are building for Windows, then maybe you have to learn for C++, or maybe you have to learn for .NET. It depends, right? And when you are building for Linux, same goes with there as well. So similar to how in mobile application there is one common Flutter as a language where everyone used to create for, let's say, iOS and Android. Similar goes with here as well. When we try to use ElectronJS, so it will create an environment, okay, environment based on Chromium. Okay, Chromium
Got
is,
it.
if no one knows Chromium, कि Chromium क्या होता है, it's nothing but your Chrome browser. Okay, so Chrome browser is built over Chromium. Okay, so Chromium is the open source browser where everyone is built over it. Let's say Brave is also built over Chromium. Arc browser is also built over Chromium. So Chromium, so in wrapper, what we do, we use Chromium engine. Okay, and that directly help us to connect with the system level permissions. So let's say ट्रिगर करना किसी नोटिफिकेशंस को या कोई ऐसी चीज़ें जो आपके बैकग्राउंड में प्रोसेसेस चलते रहे without interrupting this entire browser. So that's why we use this wrapper. And I would say if you don't want to spend much time for developing, let's say if you are in a college days, and if you don't want to spend much time in doing कि अलग से हम मैथ के लिए बना रहे हैं, विंडोज के लिए बना रहे हैं, लिनक्स के लिए बना रहे हैं, in that case a proper a good web app converted to a wrapper. Let's say we're using ElectronJS. So वो एक better solution होता है and fast solution होता है.
Got it. Got it. Got it, Sanskar. So it was fun talking to you. I will now hand over the session to you और I'm really excited. तुम आपसे कुछ और सीखने को मिलेगा आज के सेशन में. So
Sure.
over to you, Sanskar.
Okay, thank you so much, Shiva. I guess I will be also sharing my screen. You can just present it in the the window. Okay, just allow me a second. Tell me if my screen is visible or not. Just a second. Let me 1 second, guys. Yeah, I can see the comments as well. I'll explain what exactly wrapper is, okay, and why we use wrapper. Okay, so just a second. I'll just share my screen. So yes, I guess uh, yeah, I've shared my screen. Like, Shiva, if you can help me whether it's visible or not.
Okay, Sanskar. Yo, it is visible.
Yeah. So guys, please mention in the chat whether my screen is visible or not. I won't take much time today because I know the session today we started quite late, around 8 p.m. But I'll try to wind it up within 45 minutes or 1 hour. Okay. Yes. Can you please maintain? Sure, I'll do this in English only. Okay. Okay. Yes, it's visible. Okay. Okay, so let's do one thing. First of all, I do some boring stuff, which is a quick presentation. Okay, after presentation, we'll deep dive and we will try to code that particular project as well. And one more thing, you guys need to create one project for yourself as well. You can wrap any of the application which you want and you can just submit that as well. Okay. Before going with the cool stuff of coding, let's see some this boring PPTs. But yeah, take it. So today, what we are going to do is we will be sharing. I will be sharing the experience over how you can make your desktop applications using ElectronJS. Okay. So ElectronJS is nothing but it's the open source library. Okay, and it's a JavaScript based library which uses a Chromium engine. Okay, so for those who don't know what exactly Chromium engine is, so consider this as a you are using Google Chrome or Brave browser or maybe Arc browser or any other browser which is built over Chromium. So Chromium itself is an open source browser. Okay, and most popular browsers like Chrome, Brave, Arc, these all build over Chromium. Okay, so here ElectronJS what it do, it combine three main processes. One is your Chromium engine, second is your Node.js. Okay, so here what very one important thing is key one should know a Node.js as well. Okay, and your system should install with the Node.js library. I'll show how you can install the Node.js as well, and it's very simple. Okay, And then what it do, it combine all those Chromium engine, Node, and your web application, which is built over, let's say, HTML, CSS over ElectronJS. So it could be built over any modern framework, like it could be Next, React, okay. So it combine all three and create a closed environment where you run your application. Okay. So if I'll give you one example over here, you have used Discord, Slack, WhatsApp, even VS Code itself. This all are built over just one thing, that is Electron.js. Okay, Electron.js. So this is nothing but an open source library. So far, I guess you guys understood what exactly this Electron.js is. So if you want a detailed guide, you can just hop onto this section as well, where you can just type ElectronJS. So here you will see this is a popular open source JavaScript library. Okay, and here you can build a web app, sorry, desktop apps for, let's say, Mac OS, Linux, Windows. Okay, and there's one more thing that I will add when we are trying to build when we are building this application. Okay, and that is very important. One should know when you are using this framework. Okay, so it's like it's powered by web. It's a cross-platform. It's open to all. It's stable, secure, and extendable, right? Now one more thing is key. This is used by most of the common popular brands, whether it could be Figma, Discord, which I mentioned in the PPT itself, right? Here you can see Discord, Slack, WhatsApp, even VS Code. Okay, so these are built over Electron.js. Okay, then if I'll go down, I can show you some of your examples. See, I guess they have mentioned, yeah, here. So you can see Asana, Claude, Discord, whatever native application, even the GitHub desktop, whatever native application you use and install in your Windows, Mac, or Linux. Okay, so it is built over Electron. So far, I guess everyone knows about what exactly Electron.js is and what we are covering. I'll just opening the live session in the phone itself. Okay, so that I can see the comments as well. Okay, so you can write in the chat, guys, if you are comfortable. Okay, I'll just hide that pop-up. Done. If you are comfortable with, yeah. So far, everyone is clear about ElectronJS. So it's an open source library. You can go and go deeper into this. You can just read the documentation. You can start from where get started, and similar to how a Python documentation or maybe a Flutter documentation exists, you can just have a brief read about it, and you can just get to know more about ElectronJS. And here is basically three core concepts which works together, which is your Chromium browser, okay, like Chromium engine, then one Node.js, and your application which is built over it could be like HTML, CSS, or JS, or it could be built using some modern framework like Next.js, React.js, okay, could be anything. So any doubts so far, anyone? No, right? Okay, so let's proceed with another set. Let me go back to the presentation. Okay, and yeah, even this Canva itself, you can, when you install Canva in your local desktop, so it is built over ElectronJS. Okay, okay. So why ElectronJS matter? Because in the early itself, when Shiva asked you why one should use ElectronJS, the first thing is very important. You don't need for separate development for each of the operating system. It could be for Linux, it could be for macOS, it could be for Windows. So one code base can build for multiple operating system. Like your application can build over for the multiple operating system. Cost efficiency hota hai, and it bridges the technology gap. Okay, you don't need to write every time new code for each operating system. Okay, so this is why ElectronJS matter and it's important. There are some alternatives. Let's say if I'll give you one example, classic example. Previously, Netflix is using Chromium engine, like it is built over ElectronJS, but now they shifted to a web view architecture. So similar to in Android, we have a web view, right? Whenever we try to open a website using Instagram or something like that, it opens a web view, right? Same goes with here as well. So Microsoft also introduced some of its web view clients where now Netflix is using that WebView architecture instead of complete ElectronJS. So there is a huge disadvantage also when you go with the ElectronJS. That is, it consumes a lot of RAM. So if I'll give you one example over here, you have used WhatsApp and they have introduced new update recently, right? So that is also built over Electron. Okay, so now what exactly happened is key they added some more feature and Electron itself consume more resources over here. You may feel like the recent update of WhatsApp feels buggy. So you can write in the chat if you feel like a recent update in WhatsApp for desktop application. It could be for Windows, it could be for Mac. And I don't think so कि अभी Linux के लिए आया है, but yeah. So you can write in the chat if you feel like feel the same. It's true, right? Because it's consume a lot of resources. Okay, so it's very important that you have to optimize best of the ElectronJS. Okay, previously also when WhatsApp, the initial build of WhatsApp was also built over Electron, but that time it was quite optimized. But this time they push a lot of feature, a lot of thing. Okay, so that's the reason why it feels laggy, right? Okay, I can see that. Feels like yeah. Okay. So there's one big disadvantage which is Electron.js consume a lot of your resources. Okay. So now we'll see how it works. Okay. So after looking into this how it works, then we will start working on creating this project. Okay. So here what we can see there are basically three processes. Okay, one is your Chromium engine part which should be there. Another is your Node.js part. Another is your website part. Okay, so here the main process manage the life cycle of your application. Okay, it handling the native OS features and ensuring the smooth interaction between the component, you share elements. So if I will break it down in a simple word, let's say you have WhatsApp, okay, then notification comes, right? So when you use a web WhatsApp on any of the browser, that notification comes in the browser itself. But when it built over Electron, so there is a system level permission which is being accessed by the WhatsApp itself. So they will any notification which comes in your WhatsApp, a slight notification bar arrives here if you are on Windows, and for Mac it's quite different. Okay, so they get the system level of access. Whether it can also use some system level permission like locations and other services. Okay, so the main thing is key. The main process part is key. Basically, it uses the system level features. Okay. Another is the render process. So what exactly render process is? See, any website have a basic architecture of HTML, CSS, and JS. Okay, HTML, you know, it's like a skeleton, right? Okay, and CSS is nothing but your styling part. JS is for your data, dynamic thing, all those stuff. Okay, so render process here it means that any website which you embed in this ElectronJS, it renders the entire UI components. Okay, which is built using HTML, CSS, and JS. Okay, and third is your node integration. So here, what exactly node integration? It manages the your system level access. It's used to communicate between your system, okay, and your UI. So it connects that architecture. Okay. ठीक है. And so far, any doubt? Anyone have doubt? So basically, three major components are there for your ElectronJS to work. So any concerns, any issues? Anyone? I can see in the chat. Okay, okay. Let's move forward. So now next what we will do, we will build our application using ElectronJS. So far you have seen this documentation electron, what is exactly Electron is. So if I reiterate it, so it's nothing but a framework for building a desktop application using JS, HTML, CSS by embedding Chromium and Node into its binary. Okay, so there are few components which is very important when you are writing code for ElectronJS. Okay, that I will explain here in the architecture. So I was working on my some personal project over here. So here you can see some of the few files. So let's say package.json, these are the file when you run npm requirement, it will create that. But two major important files, which is main.js and preload.js. Here you need JavaScript, okay, in order to communicate and work. Okay, so one is your preload.js and another is your main.js. So main.js contains all of your links, okay, like a link of your website which you want to wrap, okay. and another is your preload.js. So preload.js nothing but it sets the constraint styling part. Okay, let's say here you can see it's it has some transparent animation, the transparent look over here. Okay, let's say if I'll open this one, a new tab in the Brave. Okay, so here you can see it has some different kind of a look. So these all things can be customizable using preload objects. Okay, you can just style it, you can just add anything. Okay, here you can see a dash CSS part. Okay, so now let's try to build. Okay, yes, you can do it for Mac, Windows, and Linux. So yeah, one more thing I want to add here. Okay, let's say if you are working on creating any ElectronJS app and you want to make the build. So how exactly build will look like? I'll share my GitHub screen. Okay. So tell me if it's visible or not. Okay, let me just minimize this. So here you can see some of this one desktop app. Okay, so here what you can see key I have releases over here. So these are nothing but your files. You can see .db file, .exe file, and another is .dmg file. I was not able to create that .amg file. So any guesses why I was not able to create .amg file? Any guess? You can write in the comment below. I'm able to create for .exe file. I'm able to create for .deb file, which is nothing for your Linux. Okay, but I was not able to create for .in. Although you can create, but for me it was not possible. So any guesses? Anyone? You can write in the chat. Used for Mac, yeah. But still, see, I am able to create the executable file, which is an installation file for our application. Okay, and I can create for Linux, I can create for Windows, but why not .dmg? No, I used, see, yeah, that's the important thing. I created the website using Firebase Studio. So again, I'll reiterate it, okay, how ElectronJS works. It has three major components. One is your Chromium engine. Chromium engine is nothing but a browser. Okay. Another is your render part, which is your website, the UI of the website, or you can say the complete website. Okay. And third is your node integration, which is connect with your system level permissions. Okay. So now the thing is, okay, the website was made over Firebase Studio, but that's not the reason why I was not able to create documentation. Okay, I'll explain. So the reason is very simple. So to export any of your a file which can be installed, you need same operating system to build that file. For example, if I am building for Windows, I can build for Windows using the Windows operating system. Okay, I can build for Linux using the Linux operating system. Okay, but there are some workaround where you can find to build for Linux using Windows itself. But yeah, that's there. And even for building for macOS, you need a macOS system with the same code, and there you need to just run one file, one command line, which will create that .dmg file. Okay, so it's very simple. In order to create the application for a different operating system, you can ask for your friend, you can ask for anyone who have those operating system or those kind of laptop having, let's say someone having MacBook, someone having Windows, someone having Linux. You can just share the code base, okay, and from there you can directly create a installable file, okay. Okay, so let's go. Let's try to build a wrapper. Okay, over here. So we are trying to build an application of a wrapper of cypherschools.com. Okay, so currently I am accessing this in the browser. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create a wrapper for this website. So you can use, and I'm just telling you, use any AI tool. Could be your Claude, could be your GPT, it could be Grok. Here I'm using anti-gravity because I'm very much good with anti-gravity as of now. And here you will get the access of good models. Let's say Gemini 3, you will get Gemini uh, 3 Pro, 3 Flats. You can use all those things. Okay. And then you can also get the access of Plot Sonnet 4.5, Opus 4.6. So you can use these models. I'll get access of all those model in a single place. Okay, that's the reason why I'm just going with anti-gravity. Same you can do with the GPT and other models. Okay, so let me close this. Okay, I'm just creating some my random projects. So now what I will do, I'll just give a good prompt over here. Okay, I'll just mention, help me to create a wrapper. Okay. So the reason why I mentioned wrapper here, because if you upfront mention the technologies, terminologies which you use to, which is required to create the application, it will be very efficient prompt. Okay. Wrap using ElectronJS. Okay. And where it opens a website in it, which is cypherschools.com. Okay, this wrapper should have a what we say this bar, a navigation bar or a toolbar. Anyone in the comment? In the comment, can you please have to access the environment? Yes, you have to access the environment where you are just building that. For see, what I can do here is I can show you one a way where using Windows you can just create for the Linux as well, and it's very simple to do that. Okay, header, header you can say, or navbar. ठीक है, navbar, transparent look. Okay, you can just mention the recommendation as well. Let's say like Figma, or let's say like WhatsApp or VS Code, so that the AI understand what kind of toolbar we are trying to replicate over here. Okay? So these are the two things as of now. So this is a very simple prompt which I am trying to give to this tool. Okay. Anti-gravity. Okay, so help me to create a wrapper using ElectronJS where it opens a website in which cypherschools.com is accessible. Okay, in this cypherschools.com is needed. Help me to create a wrapper using Google. Open a website. It opens a website. Okay, I just made a mistake. Yeah. Help me to create a wrapper using ElectronJS where it opens a website called cypherschools.com. Okay, you can use anything. You can use Netflix, you can use Figma, you can create your own wrapper of any PW, any web app. Okay, yes, they are actually same. Okay, so let's run this. I'll just running this model in the planning mode. Okay, so it will create first a plan. It will ask me the permission whether we want to continue with this. And for this, I'm using a model Gemini 3 Flash. Okay, you can use any model, whatever suits you the best. Okay, so now it will generate a plan for me. Plan in terms of key, what and all things should be required for creating this. Okay, what and all important parameters should be there, what and all security concerns should be there, what and all restrictions should be there. Everything will be mentioned in this plan. Okay, ठीक है. So we'll just wait for a couple of seconds. It will create a planner for us. Okay, so now let's see. Here is our planner. So here the task is very simple. It will create a directory, Cypher School wrapper, initialize with the package.json, and it will install the dependency which is electron.js. Okay. So now it's created this file and asking me to proceed. So first we will go through this, what exactly this task is, and then implementation plan we will see. Okay, then it will do the core implementation part. Like I mentioned, there are two important files of JavaScript, okay, which is there in the electron.js. One is your main.js file, another is your preload.js. Okay, then it will create index.html for custom navbar, and it will create some css for this glass morphism UI kind of a stuff. Okay, then it will implement a navigation. Okay, like it will create a web content view or a browser view to load cyber schools, and it will link everything back, forward, refresh, home as well. Okay, and the styling part and the verification, all the implementation is being done or not. Then you can see here the implementation plan, what they are actually doing. They are creating a wrapper, same thing, just mentioned in the task. Okay, to see it will look do the preload file, dot in index file, then verification plan, everything is there. So I'll just give you one small thing over here. So the Google anti-gravity works over the agent using the agent MCP servers agents. Okay, so it run multiple agents together in order to do your work. So consider this as a you are working in a startup. Okay, and there is a tech team. So that tech team consists of developer, tester, everyone, right? So here also what they are doing, they working as a developer, tester, and everything. So it gives you an agent kind of a POV where you can build your web apps similar to the cursor. Okay. Okay. So now light thing. I don't want to shift to light thing, but let's see. Where is that? I guess settings. We can change it, but let's stick to the this dark theme. Okay, so now let's proceed. Okay, so we are into the review phase and now it's been done. Let's proceed. So now what it will do, it will create the files. So here it will show some command. It will ask me, okay, do you want to make a repository? We want to create a folder here, naming this one. We just ran it, and it will create the folder out of it. Okay. So if there is any error also, it will fix that error by itself. Okay. So now it is again asking to install some dependencies. Okay. So now it's creating the new dependencies over here. Okay. Sometime it take, let's say, let me refresh this. So here you can see my new folder is created. And here also they proposed a plan where they mentioned the Cypher Schools wrapper is a directory will be created. So here you can see this directory over here. Okay. So let them install the dependencies of Electron. So Electron itself, they're installing that so that they can use when it's required. One more thing, when you're trying to build this, make sure your system should have a Node application, Node installed in your system. Okay, so you can, if you don't know how to install Node, so it's very simple. You can just go over here. You can just type download Node.js. Okay, you can just install the latest one from here. Okay, you can just select for which, if you're looking for Windows, you can select Windows. If you're looking for long-term support files, or if you're looking for the latest file, you can just select and download it, and you can install it. Okay, here you can see for Windows it's there, for Mac OS, Linux, you can use any of your environment, which environment you are. Okay, let's go back to Antigravity. So far it's done with the project setup. One is creating directory, JSON file, and dependency. Here you can see all the file that's been created. Okay, it's asking accept. This we will do in the last one. Every execution has been done. Okay, so here you can see package.json, it's installing dependencies, it's writing the code, it's writing the preload and main.js. It's also doing the CSS part. Every new file that's been created here itself. Okay. So now we'll wait and we'll see. It asking me to just run this one, run this one. Okay. So first thing what we will do, first we will open the file and we'll accept the things which they uh, have written for us in this ID. Okay. We'll just accept it. I don't know, for some reason here is the option it will come, accept all the changes, but for some reason it's not coming. Maybe some issue. We'll do this accept all. Okay, and now let's run. Okay, let's see if it encounters any error, then it will not work, but most of it opened. Yeah, it opened, right? So here you can see it's a wrapper with a transparent. So let me just minimize this everything first. It looked like a browser. Okay, you can see it looked like a browser. We can change it. We'll just make it to use it as a default. So here you can see this is okay. I just closed it. One second. Just let me run this again. We'll just select this folder, open integrated terminal. Okay, and we will type npm start. So this is a command to run your project. Okay. So if we look for that file, it opens this file. Okay, and here you can see it load on the files over here. Okay, so now let's do one more thing. I'll just update. I didn't like the UI of this one, the toolbar, the tool. Okay, this one, navigation bar. So I'll just mention make the nav bar look like a native desktop nav bar, like what I can say, like Figma or WhatsApp. Okay. So now again it will do the changes over here. So again it will go to this section task part or the implementation strategies. They will look for it. They will create the processes. So here you can see UI refinement. Okay. So here what it will do, it will update the CSS part. It will add the option. Okay, and then it will update the window styling as well. So now I guess that's done. I've updated the implementation rules include down. Okay, let us check whether it's done or not. No. So now we have to tell them go ahead and start implementing. Okay, so now it will do all the changes over here. So first it will do the planning part and then it will do the execution part. So let's just wait for a couple of minutes. Okay, you are able to look. Now it did all the changes. So just wait for finalization. Okay, and now it's done. Let's run this again and let's see whether it's updated or not. Yeah, updated, but still it have this transparent look over here. So let it fix the process. Accept all the changes over here. You can see now I got to accept all the changes. Okay. So now let's run this again. And let's see. Now it's quite better, but it worked. It looked like a browser now. So now let me remove the search bar, back and forth button. Everything I'll just remove. Okay. And even the transparent loop, I'll just remove that. Okay. I'll just mention over here. Now help me to remove the transparent look of the nav bar. Keep it like a window style nav bar. Okay, and also remove this one. What do we want to remove? Search section and refresh button. Okay, so now let's try this. So again it will do. Okay. Okay, so again it created the plan. Let us see. Remove search, install a white Windows style background, adjust auto layout. Okay, fine. You can just write go ahead. So one more thing, if here we are using anti-gravity and if you don't want key every time it asks your permission, so from here you can change all the settings of your anti-gravity. So as of now, auto execution is entirely set for request review. Okay, review policies is also for request review and agent auto fix. Okay, so what here auto fix is, if they are trying to build any project and they encounter an error until they do the final fixing, so it's on. So you have to keep it on until they completely fix that. Auto execution is like they have created a plan over here, right? But you want key without giving the approval, they should start executing. In that case, you have to change it from always proceed. Okay. And if you are looking for policies as well, so you can also use the same. Always proceed, agent decides, you have to request review. You can take any. So now it's done. Let's accept all the changes. Still it's working. Let's wait until we run that. Now we will also set the icon. Okay, so currently it is showing the default icon of ElectronJS. If I'll give you an example, let's wait. Let me just minimize this one. Let's adjust this one. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, so now it's working. Let's run. Okay, let's try to run this. So now it's quite different than what we got in the initial one. Okay, so it's done. So now let's run from here. In start, it will load the application. So all of you able to see this? Anyone? You can write in the chat. Okay, okay. So now let's work on few things like this. Buttons are not working. Okay, you can see here these buttons are not working. Okay, so what we will do here is we will tell them, tell your agent here, which is the close button minimize and maximize button is not working. Fix that. Okay. So it will fix again all the issues which we are facing. Okay. And one more thing, I just want to share one more project which I built using this. Okay, let's wait. Finally, we'll do all the changes after that. I'll show you. We'll accept the changes. We'll just run this again. Now you can see I can minimize. Now I'm able to minimize this. Okay, I can maximize also. Okay, I can close it also. Okay, so now these features are working. Okay, so now what we will do. So far, everyone, anyone have any doubt so far? Just write in the chat. Then what we will do, we will now build the file which you can install directly, and we will also add a logo. Okay, so let me just download a logo of Cypher Schools very quick. I will just search for Cypher Schools icon image. Okay, you can see over here this one. Just I will just save this, save image. Okay, and just name and save. Done. Okay. So now what I will do, I will go back here. I will ask key, hey, help me to add an icon for this wrapper. Okay. Okay, I'll just mention this. Okay, maybe we need to give a icon file. Okay, maybe they will not accept PNG. I'm not sure, or they are creating by themselves. Okay, they are using Gemini and Banana just to give some new the pre-built icon. So let's see what they are doing. We'll just actually go ahead. Okay, so now what it will do, it will create an image, it will save in the directory, and then it will call. So now they have created, there is some error. Let's see what error they have made. Meanwhile, we'll see the execution plan. They are creating professional 512 cross 512 pixel image with rounded corner, no text, blue, white, minimalist app icon. You can just replace it also. We'll just see what they have created. Okay. Now we'll see what they are doing. They'll just save this file here. Okay. Just wait. Okay. So here you can see in this one main.js file will open. Okay. And we'll search for, let's say, we'll check the task key what they have done. They have updated this one main.js. So let me open and let me search for icon. So here you can see icon. So here is the icon path.join icon.png. Okay, so icon.png they have created, but I'm not able to see the icon over here. Oh, they have created this. Let me open. Okay, let me look at again. Directory main.js. So let's see see whether it's done or not. So again, it's the old wrapper icon. Okay. So what we will do, we will just add that over here. We'll reveal in the file explorer. This is here. Now we want that file which we downloaded. So let's copy this. Let's go back. Let's paste this in here. Just name it as CS icon. CS underscore icon. Okay. So now let's go back over here and we can see this one. Let us see CS icon. Okay. Let's save this. Let me run it again. So now you can see. I can you can see this icon over here. So now the icon is also being added. Okay. So this is done. Now what we will do, we will create a installable file, like .exe file. Okay. So now you can just write here, or you can look for the command as well, which says it will create a file for you. So instead of that, I'll just ask the agent itself to do it for me. Now create a .exe file for this wrapper. Okay. Where still it's performing some action maybe because of this image issue. Let me just pause this and let us create this one. Creating .exe file for this wrapper. So now what it will do, it will create the installation file. Okay, similar to how we install any software in the Windows. And same, I'll show you how you can make for Linux as well. Okay. So for Linux, I will tell you how you can do. Although I'm using subsystem. It's basically something like a virtual box or VMware where you can just do that. Okay, I have updated the implementation plan. Let us see what plan they have updated. Install Electron Builder. Okay, now here they will install Electron Builder. They will configure the package.json. They will run the build command and they will verify whether it's created or not. So let's mention go ahead. Okay, so now it will start installing first, which is Electron Builder. Okay, so it will ask here run. Okay, so as of now, every action which is taken on terminal is being used by, it's required a human intervention. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, accept all. And now they are building that. Here you can see it's building. Here one new folder will be created, which will be named as destination. Okay, so they are installing this. Okay, okay, so let install. So now it's creating, it's in the process, it's building that. So yeah, I'll just reiterate here, which is if you are looking for creating a build file for macOS, you need a Mac environment. Okay, and if you are looking to build for Linux, you still need a Linux environment, and for Windows, same, right? So let's wait. They will create that file. Okay. One second. Okay, so now they are creating this. Let's wait for a couple of minutes. Okay. So it will take some time. Like if I open this directory over here you will see some files, not modules and everything. Okay, now they will run this one, this file, this command. npm run dixt. So now they are configuring, they are preparing the zip file, they are preparing the .exe file. Okay, you can run this command here itself. You can also just look for that command and you can just run it from here. Let's say I'll give you one example. There is, I guess, one command I have. One second. So I guess it's done. It's done. Here you can see they have created one folder. Let us open this folder. I'll just right click here, open, sorry, reveal in file explorer. We'll just open this. Here you can see dist. Okay, and here it's preparing that Windows file. Okay, here you can see the pack, the direct open. Here you can like open directly, and they will also create a .exe file, like installation processes. So we'll just wait. And let me just see any of the process it's not running. Okay. So it's entirely based on your system performance as well. So how much your system is capable of. Okay. So see, when you are working with ElectronJS, it should need an environment to build. Okay. So consider this as an example. There are few things. Let's say if you are cooking food, okay, so for cooking food also you need resources. So to build the installation file, it need resources of the same thing. Let's say for building for Linux, it need Linux resources. Building for Windows, it needs Windows resources. And for Mac, it need the Mac resources. Okay, so let's just wait. Okay. So now let me go here and we'll just refresh this. Okay, here you can see when unpacked. This is the unpacked version. It's not the installation file. This is the unpacked which you can directly run. If I open this, so here you can see this open directly. Here you can do the login part, sign in, everything is been done, and then you can use it. So still, it's a wrapper. You can see it's in the full screen and it's a native application, the desktop application. Okay. Now we'll go back to Antigravity, and now all the tasks they have done, they have analyzed it. Now I'll just mention key create an installation file. Now create a installation file for Windows. Sorry, Windows. Okay, which will be installed at system level. Okay. So now it will create a packed version. Like currently, it has given the unpacked version. You can see here. You have to go in the destination, and from here you have to, okay. They have created this as well. Okay, okay. I guess I can stop this one. The build command itself has built this one. So now it will install this application. Okay. Here you have a set of file which is 73 MB. Now it's installed in your local system. So let's say if I'll give you overview, I'll just close this. I'll just search for cyberspace. Okay. Let me check. It was an unpacked version. Yeah. Done. So now let's do one thing. I guess we need to create an installation setup as well. So this mention now create an installation file for Windows and install your system level. Okay. So now it will run that command to build that. You can see always you can see the documentation. Let's say if I'll go here and you can see in tutorials they build your first app, packaging your application. So here you can see how you can package it. Okay, so here for the npm commands you can see here how you can build for this one for Windows, Linux, and Mac. Okay, let's go back, accept all the changes, and let's see run the build and say okay. And yes. Go ahead. So now it will run the command, it will verify the directory and it will create it. So now it will run this. Okay. Now it will create a package. Okay, they are using this one second. Yeah, so they are building for architecture x64. Okay, so if you don't know, there are for the Windows operating system there are two architectures. So I guess three. 32-bit was old, x64-bit it's the new architecture. Okay, another is the ARM based. If you guys know about Snapdragon, CPUs are there and they are based on entirely ARM architecture, right? Similar to how M1, M2, M chips are there for Apple devices. Sorry, Mac computer. Mac. Yeah, 32 bits. So I'll show you how you can create for Linux as well. Okay, so I'll just write one command as well here. Uh, help me with command to build for Linux using Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, it will give some command that I have to run in the Linux environment. So if you are a Windows user, okay, and you want to build for Linux, so what you can do here is you can go with two ways. Either you can install the VMware virtual box. I'll show you what exactly VMware is, the virtual box is. So you can just go here to virtual box and type this okay, and you can just install this Oracle. It's been offered by Oracle. It's a open source virtualization where you can just install any other operating system. Okay, mostly it is being used by the developers and others. If you are student, you can also use it and build installation files for this. Okay. Meanwhile, it's doing this one. They are creating the installation file. What we will do, we will look for the two processes. Yeah, one is VirtualBox. Another is your Windows subsystem for Linux. So if you are on Windows 11, so what you can do here is, I guess they have created it. Okay. So what it will do, you have to search for this one, uh, turn Windows feature on and off. Okay, so there is one thing here. You will see this one, Windows subsystem for Linux. You have to turn this on and select OK. So what it will do here is it will install the first dependency file for the Linux. It will create the environment. Then what you have to do, you have to go for a store like Microsoft Store over here, and you have to look for any Linux distribution. You can just type Linux. Okay, so you will see the available Linux distribution. You can go to Ubuntu, Kali, and in Ubuntu also there are multiple versions, which is LTS long-term support versions. Even you can see other Debian is there. Then I guess Linux Mint is also there. You can look for other distributions. Okay. So what I did, I installed for this one, 24 Ubuntu 24 version LTS one. So if I open Ubuntu, okay, now it will run this. This is a Linux terminal, by the way. Okay. For those who don't know, this is a Linux terminal, and we enabled it using Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, you can just type in the YouTube itself and look for the how to install Linux in your Windows using Windows subsystem. Okay, now what I will do, first we will check for Google Antigravity, what they have built for the Windows. So let's open this one. Let's open this file directory, and here you can see this file setup. It was created a file which is directly accessible and can be opened. Now it has given us setup file. Okay. Now you can see it is asking me to install this. Okay. You can see it required this much installation space. Logo is also there. You just hit install. It will start installing it. Okay. You can just wait, and once it's done, it's finished. You can see it runs cyberspace. I'll do the finish part over here. Okay, and now it's installed locally in your system. If I close this also, you can see I'll just search for, see here, Cypher Schools is recently added, and search Cypher Schools. Here, this is installed as an application. If you will go on the Windows also, here you can see. You just tap here, it opened. Okay. So this is for the Windows. Now let's build for the Linux. Okay. So what we will do here is help me with the command to build for Linux using Windows subsystem for Linux, and the file should be .db. Okay. DB is nothing but the extension for Debian based distros. Okay. You can also go with the, what I can say, ARC-based, like for the ARC-based operating system, like for the Linux, and other also Fed for Fedora is also there, right? So let's run this. It will give some the commands that I have to run here. Okay, but you can see this is running a Linux over here. So now you can see they have added a plan. They'll also update the package file because it should be updated. Okay, they will provide the WSL build command. What I need to do, you can see here what they have mentioned. First, I have to open your WSL terminal. Example Ubuntu. So this is nothing but WSL terminal. Okay. So now we have to run this command. This is, I'll break it down what this command is. Okay. So I'll just mention it over here. So here it says we have to change the directory and mount E drive. Why E drive? Because all of my project file over here. Okay, I'll just open this again. File over here, it's in volume E. Okay, so that's the reason why mount E drive in that programming development, AI dev, cycle school staffers. This is the complete path of your project. So now it's open in this. Now what we need to do, we have to go back over here. We have to look for this one, npx electron builder. This command, you can just copy it from here or ways suits you. Just mention it here, run. So what it will do, it will try to build that builder for you. Okay, now it's downloading all the dependencies file. Okay, and then it will start building. Consider that key when you are using subsystem for your Linux, okay, and you are building that, it will take good amount of time. Okay, sometimes it will push error also. Let's say they have shared this error, please verify this electron. Okay, so now what we will do, we'll just select this all the error part over here. Let's copy this, and just you can mention here, I am getting this error while, do mention when you are getting, while building installation file for Linux. Here is the log. Okay, just mention this. So it will fix the all the dependency and JSON file, and it will let us know what are the exact. Maybe Electron Builder is not installed over here because in that while creating for Windows, we installed the this one Electron Builder, but here it was not given that command to install. So let us see what they are asking us to see again. The main problem was the Electron Builder is not there. So now we have to first install Electron Builder. It will install the Electron Builder, then it will, then we can run that command again. So let's see, cannot execute. Why? Electron architecture, this one. Let us see. One second. Okay. Packaging. Okay, so cannot execute. Okay, FPM errors. This, I guess, this we have encountered again. Let me just finish this. This actually happens when you try to use WSL. So make sure if you are building for Linux, go with the Linux environment, dedicated Linux environment. If you are building for Mac, go with the dedicated uh, Mac environment. Okay, you can use any of your friend's laptop, or if you find anywhere else, you can use that. So let us wait. They mention like, okay, we need to update, install, too much of steps. So let's do this. First, we need to this one. Okay, let me just update all the files. Hope this will not take much time. Okay, so it's done. So now our next process is we need to install this FPM. Okay, it's almost done. Okay, we need to install this. It's 312 MB. So yeah, this is nothing but updating all of your Ubuntu dependencies, and then it is able to install Electron Builder to the stuff. Okay, it may take some time, but yeah, this is what you have to be. This is what you have to struggle with. So try to use local environment instead of going with WSA. Okay. So far, anyone have doubt? Let me just quickly go back to the chat section, and we will, meanwhile that is being done. Okay. Okay. So let's see some comments over here. Uh, so sorry. So this is slide theme. Okay. Can we do using Eclipse or terminal server? You can use it. I would say you can use anything. Just I don't know about Eclipse. I would say you can go for any other ID. VS Code is like well suited. You can try this with the create app for any website we like. Yes, you can create any website and you can just convert that into that wrapper. There is a create application over like this. Just yes or no, we can create application of any web in internet like this. Yes, you can create. You can even create for Spotify and other thing. I'm just telling this openly what people used to do. Although you don't try to do these things, people used to integrate this with ad blockers. So what they do, let's say if you are know about Brave browser, what exactly Brave do. So similar to that, people used to embed some extensions, okay, and then they try to embed some other popular websites. So that is unethical. Don't do this. This is a disclaimer. But yeah, that is also there. So why Electron? Why not Worry? Worry you can use. Yeah, that's the good one. Worry, I guess Worry is entirely based on Rust. I guess, right? You can use Worry, but again, uh, here what you need to do is just few lines of code done. But Worry you have to be, we have to be a good understanding of that, and you have to be have understanding of Rust as well. Okay, if it's being created by AI, should it be able to create for any environment? No. Again, but as I mentioned, you need an environment where, for let's say for if you're building for Linux, you need a Linux environment. Okay. So to build the package, to build the file, you need resources. Okay. Yes, okay. So now you send me the system and need to create install package, whole folder and paste it in required directory. So now you send this to understand. Yeah, so you can just push your code to GitHub, fork that, clone that code to your friend's laptop system, whatever it is. Run the command which is build ElectronJS. So that you can use, it will create the executable file. So now you mentioned only to build cyberscope, but how then anti-gravity know your color code of actually website what that is true. No, so again here it is just copying the URL. So well, as I mentioned, it is using Chromium engine, and from their Chromium engine, they are embedding the URL which has been open in that Chromium engine. Okay, you don't need you don't need to go with the color code anything you don't need to do. So you're trying to sign a giving okay, so BlueStack and runs on virtual. Yes, they runs on a virtual box. I would say they have their own environment there where they run the operating system. So yeah, it runs technically. It should sound like this. macOS has no issues. Okay. Let us check what happened in this one. Okay, so here we are done with this. Let's install FPM. Okay, it won't take much time. I hope so. install, parsing documentation, installing, done. Now let's check whether it's installed or not. Yes, installed. If you're getting this version, means it's installed. Now let's try to build again. Okay, I hope it will create again. It's giving some error. So let's exit this. Okay, let's open this again. Sometime it happens. Just copy, just run this mount, and then try to build. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's still pushing some error. Description is missing package data. Let's try to push this error log again to anti-gravity. So far anyone have doubt, you can just mention in the comment. Anyone? Okay. Just mention this package.json. Okay. Okay. So let's accept all the changes and let's try to build again. We have this package.json. Okay, done. Close, minimize, and let's see. We are already in that directory. Okay, install. So last time what we did. Let's try this again. Again, we are getting. So I am getting this issue because this file is not being installed in my system. I don't know why this is happening. Let me exit this again and let's try to ask this one. Okay, I'll do one thing. First, I'll install it in the system right because it's installed successfully. When installed, let's check the version. Now it's there. Let's mount this directory and run this command. So again we are getting this. So let's try how we can solve this. You can go with anti-gravity or you can just search it online as well, but surely. So please repeat what you asked. What I said, can you provide a small summary of the list of stuff? Yeah, I will help you with a small summary over here. So it's very simple. First thing is you need to have installed three major things in your system. One is Node.js. Okay. Another thing, you should have a good website of it could be any website which you want to make a wrapper of. Okay. Another thing is you should have a ID to do this entire process. You can use GPT, Claude, or anti-gravity, whatever suits you. And it's a wrapper, so you just have to run a few prompts over here. You are building the wrapper using ElectronJS, mention which website you want to wrap and everything, and it will create a wrapper out of it. Okay, and then after creating a wrapper, if you are on Windows, just tell your AI agent to create a Windows installation file. If you are on Mac, it will create for Mac. If you are Linux, it will create for Linux. For some reason, for me, Linux is not working properly, maybe because I have to restart WSL. So I'll do one thing. I'll just search restart WSL command. Okay. So there in PowerShell, we need to mention this. Okay, I'll just open PowerShell. I'll just type WSL shutdown. Let's wait. Now it's done. Okay. Now let's run this, open this again. Let's minimize this. Now it's opening. Let's wait for some time. Let him try to build it again. Again, we are getting same issue. So let us see problems we are getting. Okay, so it mentioned key identify your distro, check if the distro is Linux. Okay, it's there. Install FPM. Okay, this one. Let's try this. First, we need to accept. Now, this takes some time. Yeah, I guess this is also we need to install. Okay, it's already installed. Then let's try to run this again. It's already installed. So I guess there is some issue with my this distribution because it is not able to install this FPM. Although it's mentioning we have installed it, but for some reason it is not able to do that. Okay, so what we can do is if you guys have Linux installed in your system, try this method. Okay, let me know if it's working for you or not. Anyhow, we are connected in the WhatsApp group, and if you guys encountered any issue or same issue, help me with that as well. We will try to solve it together. Okay. So see now I showed you. Let's say I can show this distribution folder. Okay. Here you can see this is for your .exe file. Here is the unpacked version of Linux, I guess. Yeah, unpacked version is there, and there is execution file for that, but it is not able to create .db installation file. We will look for that. So here you can see this is the wrapper. You can try to open this in the Linux environment, but okay, let me try whether it's working or not. Still, I don't have the GUI part over here, but let's see. We are already in this. So cd txt. Now we need to go into cd links hyphen unpacked. Okay, and now let's type this surface schools hyphen wrapper. Not found. Okay, just clean copy paste. Okay, so yeah, there is a problem with mount and syncing because I'm using WSA. So you can try if you have Linux installed like a system-wide installation. Okay, you can just try that. So far, if you guys have any doubt, let me know. I won't take much time over here. It's already have executed. I think that took a lot of time of yours. Close it in task manager by finding that we need to restart Windows for it. Yeah, I guess we need to restart Windows. If I'll restart, everything will be gone. No issues. Okay, so anyone have other doubts? I would do a small summary. Sometimes the file remains open in the task manager even if yeah, it happens. How do you push? Yeah, how no, good question. How you can push? So it's very simple. So you just need one, let's say if I open GitHub, okay, and then I'll create one repository over here. So here I'll create one repository, new repository. I'll just name it as Cypher Schools Desktop App Workshop. Okay. Now just set this as public. No, yeah, it's public. Everything is there. Create repository. Now this your repository is created. You can do two things over here. You can push your entire code using these commands. Okay, you get init. You can add readme file and you can write there the readme file. You can then commit, you have to change the branch to name, then you have to add the origin, and then you can push the code. Another thing is key, you can just also push the releases. This way. So let's say I'll just add few files over here. First thing, let me just open this. Okay. So I will do this one. I'll just do git init. Okay, it's initialized. I'll just mention, we'll just add readme file. It's not there, we need to create the readme file. So I'll just mention readme dot md. Okay, so again, let's try to push. Oh, it's done. Now let's commit this. First commit. Okay, on initial commit. On that reply. Okay, yeah, we don't need to commit these files, we just need these files to commit. So we will say git add this one only, then commit, and we need to change it to main branch, and let's add the remove origin. Now let's try to push. Either because match. Okay, I guess it's being collapsed with my this one. Okay, second. Control L. Okay, so we have this one. It's already initialized. Let's comment. Okay, so we are getting on main branch, we have these things. Nothing to commit, but file present use add to track. Okay. Okay, sorry. Git add read dot why it's not working. Read dot okay. Now let's okay, now it's done. Now it's I guess it's already connected to remote origin, already exists. Now let's push this. So it will try to authenticate. Oh, it's not required. Let's see. So now we got the readme file over here. Okay. So after getting the readme file, here you can see the releases. Okay. So you have to create a new release. Okay. You can select the tag. You can just create it a new tag. Mention the version. Version 1.0.1. Okay. This is your tag. And it should be targeted to me. Sorry. You can just type the name cipher desktop app. If you want to write some description, release note, you can just mention. Here you have to attach that file. So what I can do, I will just go here. I'll select this one, okay, .exe file, just drag, drop. Now it's uploaded, okay. And here we need to add these files as well. Okay, builder effective config.yml and block map. These two files that we need to add there as well. So we'll add here this one and we'll add not debug this one. So these three files added. Okay. So okay, I guess skip it. So now it's done. So all done. Then you can just publish the release. So now here you will see your asset. Okay. Okay, so here you can see it's been pushed to GitHub. There are commands which you can give to Antigravity and it will just push using terminal. You don't need to upload it manually. Okay. And if being a developer, you should push through terminal itself. Okay. So any doubt till here? Okay, yeah, I guess you are writing. Yeah, I got it. Thank you for that. How do we push it? Yeah. So, anyone have any doubts so far? So, what we have learned today, we explored what exactly ElectronJS is. We see how one can build ElectronJS, what are the requirement of ElectronJS to build it. We encountered error in this WSL, and for some reason, I need to restart the system. Then it will try to create that .deb file, okay, because it is not able to see this fpm. For some reason I installed it, still it's showing fpm is installed. I'll show you. Okay, version still it's able to it is showing that it's installed, but for some reason it is not able to access it. Okay, so yeah, so can you provide a small summary of resources required to implement after the session? Yeah, we will share a short summary in the group itself where you can see how you can just create the step-by-step process to convert any app into desktop application. But make sure if you are making for Windows, you should be on Windows. If you are making for Linux, you should be on Linux. If you don't want to go with the struggle of WSL VirtualBox, and if you are making for Mac, you should be on the Mac. Okay. So any doubt so far? Anyone? Just you can write in the chat Y or N. GitHub part. Okay, I'll just repeat that. So it's very simple. For the GitHub, you need to create a repository first. From here, you can create. After creating a repository, you have to push one file. You can push the README file from here, from your anti-gravity. All you need is few lines of command. It will all start with init. You need to initialize it. You need to then add the file. You need to commit. Then you need to connect the remote origin. Then you have to push. Okay. If it may ask you to authenticate, so it will redirect you directly to sign in with GitHub. For some people, it may ask if you're not using GitHub regularly. Okay. Then after doing that, you will able to see this one. Let me minimize this. You will able to see this one, this file, README file. You can also add the entire code base. It's on you. Okay. For entire code base, instead of just adding this one, uh, dot add readme, instead of that you can just mention get add dot will contain all the file and it will add it. Okay, so after that you can able to see here readme file. Then here you can see the releases. This releases is nothing but the application which you have created, okay, using the electron. Here you can see here we got .exe file as a setup, as a non-setup file, and for Linux also it's there, but for some reason I'm getting the issue. Okay, so directly you can just upload it from here. Let's say if I create a new release, draft a new release. Okay, so you have to select the tag here. You have to target it to be a main branch. Then give the title. You want to add some description, and then just either just tap it over here or drag and drop your file. So for Windows, you need to drag .exe file. For Linux, .db file, and for Mac, .img file. Okay. So this is a quick summary about the GitHub part. So any doubt? Just close this. Any doubt, guys? You can just mention over here. You can just type Y or N if you faced any issues. Okay. Okay. So that is there from my end, and so sorry. It's almost, I guess, 1.5 hour. I took your 1.5 hour, and we also encountered some bugs as well. But I would suggest one thing over here. As much as time you spend on optimizing your prompt, you will get the better result. Because of time constraint, I have just given a very vague kind of a prompt, a prompt which is not in a detailed format. But still, I try to mention some terminology which is used by the developers over here. We were told that it will be 10, so okay, okay, no issue. So sorry, guys. Okay. So see, we will be stay in touch in the group. Okay. You can just ping me directly in the group. I am also added in that. If you encountered any issue, let me know. We will try to solve it together. Okay. Okay. Any other concern, issues, feedback, anyone? And thank you so much for listening to me this much. Shiva, are you there?
Yeah, hi Sanskar. Okay, so that was an amazing session, Sanskar. I seriously didn't think that it was this easy to make a desktop app, but now I know.
You can
I can
create for
see
your
that.
own itself.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that people are asking for certificate. So
Okay.
before we end this session, I will just let you guys know that in order to receive the participation certificates, you guys will have to participate in a little project. You will have to post a session project where you will be building a desktop app, upload it on Antigravity. Sorry, my bad. Upload it
Yeah.
on Google Forms, and just your GitHub should also contain build with love with the help of Cypher Schools in the README section. The link will be shared in the WhatsApp group. So if you are not there, if you want the link for the WhatsApp group, I will drop it in the comments. You can join from there. Uh, so that's all, guys. That was the
I
session.
guess someone
If
is
you
asking this one key wrapper can be of any website which is live even on Vercel. So yeah, even it is on even if it is on, let's say, Netlify or anything, you can just mention it should be a functional website. Okay, and you can just mention that in the prompt itself. If this URL is there, which you have to do. Oh, the only thing is it will not work with the local host. Okay, so don't try to share any local host thing over there. So it will not work for me. Okay, how much time it will be taken to fill the form with the project? Maybe Shiva
so
will
we
answer
are
that.
giving 48 hours. We are giving 48 hours for you guys to submit your projects, and then we will review it and give you your participation certificates.
So for Windows, which extension? It is .exe. So I'll just reiterate. For Windows, it's .exe. For Linux, it's .deb. If you guys are into Debian based distribution, and for Mac, it's obviously .dmg. Although I don't have Mac, so I was not able to show. And even for the Linux, also we encountered some issue. To sorry for that. I guess I have to restart my entire system in order to share that. So if I'll do that, I was like not able to share the entire process. So yeah, that was it from my side. Okay.
So, guys, I am just sharing the link in the WhatsApp group. You guys can check it, submit your forms there, and that's it from our side. That was amazing session, Sanskar. Thank you so much for teaching us, and we will see you guys again with another session.
Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Shiva, for hosting this wonderful session. Okay, and thank you, everyone, for joining. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.